subject, I have already sent you two books. One is by Halliday that we are going to start with because, this is an introduction of functional grammar by Halliday. Okay. And the second one is by David Butt. Um, from the book of Halliday, much of the time we will be learning the terms and terminologies that are required for systemic function linguistics. Okay. And the other one would help you in actually learning the practical work related to systemic functional linguistics. It would tell you how do you analyze text, okay, through this systemic functional linguistics. Okay. Another term that we use in systemic functional linguistics is transitivity. Um, has anyone heard of this term transitivity? Or do you know anything about Halliday? We need to have a very interactive class for SFL. Besides doing a lot of readings, we need to have discussions and we need to have analysis also. So my first question is, just breaking the ice. Um, what do you know about Halliday? Have you heard this name before? I'm interested to know about Halliday and transitivity. Anyone?
Ma'am, we haven't heard his name, but since you told us to read the first few chapters, we got his perspective about systematic, functional, grammatical, or whatever that is. We get to know there's a difference between traditional grammar and systematic grammar as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit what we know about Halliday's perspective, which he specifically said traditional grammar focuses on rules and regulations without allowing any bending or having any uh, flexibility, where functional systematic allows the person to change wording and change a grammar rule to fit the context and emphasize on meanings.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. Um, has anyone heard about transitivity? Okay. So anyway, Halliday is basically known for giving us functions of language. Okay. And he has talked about meta functions, and within meta functions, there are certain sub functions. And that is what systemic functional linguistics is all about. Now, why did he feel the need to, give an idea of systemic functional linguistics? Uh, because he believed that language is just not grammar. Okay, language is basically a tool for communication. It has a function, right? So previously, many of the linguists, they focused on analyzing grammar, structures, um, clauses, and phrases in terms of grammar and not the utility of language as such. So he came up with an idea that language is more than just grammar. Therefore, the first thing we need to differentiate is the difference between the traditional grammar and the functional grammar. Okay, so the terms are self-explanatory: traditional grammar and functional grammar. What might be the difference between the two? And it would, of course, reflect the readings that I've given you. Yes, what might be the difference? Yeah. Your voice is not very clear, and I think this is Khalda Noor, and she's somewhere in the interior. Anyway, anyone else? What is functional grammar? And in comparison to traditional grammar? Yes, Farah. Fatma has already answered this question. Minal isn't well, Fatma informed us. So, yes, Saida, what might be the difference between traditional grammar and functional grammar?
Ma'am, I guess traditional grammar is referring to the grammar which is as per the rules, like we have been following subject, verb, and object. And as far as the functional grammar is concerned, I guess it is um, related to the use of the language, how we use the language. Like based on the context, we are going to use different
Exactly. Now,
language.
this word context is very, very important in functional linguistics. Okay. Um, can there be use of language without context?
No,
I
ma'am.
guess not.
There is no. Okay, let me rephrase it. Can there be an existence of language without context?
No, no, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Yes, Farah.
यस मैम, हाउ आर यू? फाइन। मैम मेरी तरफ सिग्नल्स, असल में मैं ये यहाँ पर रहती हूँ रिसानी रोड की तरफ, से सिग्नल्स बहुत ज्यादा ड्रॉप हो रहे हैं और आवाज भी बहुत ज्यादा कट कट के ड्रॉप होकर आ रही है मेरी तरफ।
So, did you get the question?
नहीं, मुझे क्वेश्चन हाफ समझ आया। मींस आप पहले आपने मुझसे फंक्शनल और ग्रामर उनका डिफरेंस पूछा, आई थिंक।
Now I'm
अभी
asking,
अभी अभी
is
का
there,
यस।
okay, can language exist without context?
नो मैम, मीनिंग्स दे आर जस्ट वी गेट मीनिंग्स थ्रू द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ना। कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं होगा आप डेफिनेटली, जैसे नॉम चॉम्स्की का एक सेंटेंस है कि कलरलेस ग्रीन आइडियाज स्लीप फ्यूरियसली, तो वो ग्रामेटिकली वो ठीक है, सिंटैक्टिकली भी ठीक है, लेकिन उसके मीनिंग्स कोई क्रिएट नहीं हो रहे हैं। तो जो है वो मीनिंग्स नहीं देता। अब प्रैग्मेटिक्स में भी हम देख लें, तो अगर हमारे पास मीनिंग्स जो हैं वो किसी भी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में सेंटेंस अगर बोला जा रहा है, तो अगर हमारे पास मीनिंग्स क्रिएट नहीं हो रहे हैं, तो वो सेंटेंस हमारे पास डेफिनिटली दैट्स यूजलेस। हम कॉन्टेक्स्ट वाइज ही
Okay,
समझते हैं मीनिंग्स।
okay. In terms of functional linguistics, you are very much right. But we have all, we have all learned this language through grammar translation method. I don't know if you have done applied linguistics in your BS, but where we are taught grammar through separate sentences. For instance, students are asked to convert these sentences to from direct to indirect speech or from active to passive voice. Okay, separate
यस,
chunks of
यस, जी।
sentences, right? Now, those sentences do not have a context. Agree or not? Right? So
Agreed.
there,
यस।
there is an existence of language without context. Okay. So functional linguistics gives a lot of emphasis on context because the language becomes functional only when it is used within a certain context. So out of the context is no text. Okay. Now, uh, what is a text? Uh, that was present in your readings. What Halliday tells you about text? What is a text? Text. T-E-X-T. Text. What is a text?
आई मैंने रिटन एक्सप्रेशंस जो आपको मीनिंग्स दे रहा है, डेफिनेटली दैट्स टेक्स्ट।
No, 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 no. Part of it. Yes, Saida.
Ma'am,
Any
Saida raised
written
her
or
hand.
spoken, yes, ma'am. Any written or
Uh-huh.
spoken passage which gives meaning is known as a text.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, when we are teaching grammar through the traditional methods, we are not dealing with text. Any spoken or written language, which is, Halliday called text as instance of language. It can be of, it can be in any medium, and by medium we mean spoken, written, uh, any sound that is, sounds can be meaningful. For instance, when we say, oh, ah, all these expressions, right? They might not have a meaning in the dictionary, but they are expressed within a context, so they become a text, right? So text is defined through its context, and it has to be meaningful. It should be giving a meaning, and it should be performing certain function. And text is an instance of language, right? So it can be spoken, it can be written, it can be on the social media, it can be an email, it can be a letter, it can be a speech, anything, but it has to be meaningful, it has to have a context, and this determines what is a text and what is not a text. Okay? Do you get it now? Are these, differentiations clear to you? Right?
Yes.
Text and grammar, context, uh, traditional grammar and functional grammar. So this is the background why Halliday felt a need to come up with different linguistics. Okay, so today we are going to do some of the terms and some of the similar discussions, and we'll see how the same language, you know, uh, changes with the context. Okay, and we are going to practice the same. So, the architecture of language, how language is actually built. We're going to talk about that and some of the basic principles of SLF. So, I've already told you that text is an instance of language. It has to make sense. It can be spoken, it can be written, and it has to have a significance. The significance can vary. It can be less significant, it can be more significant, but it has to have certain significance. It should add to the meaning. It should be communicating something, should be doing some work, should be functional in society. Okay, so that is a text, and anything that doesn't give you meaning, that does not have a context, and we have already agreed that there is an existence of instances of language that might be used for teaching, as teaching material, that are devoid of any context. Okay, they are separate chunks of language. They are still language, but they are not text. Okay, text has to be meaningful. It should be making some sense. It should be doing some work. It should be functional. uh, it should be communicative. Okay, so language being a tool, it has to be functional. Now, Halliday gives two perspectives on text. Okay, these might be newer words for you, or newer, ideas, that text as artifact and text as specimen. Okay, but I would like to explain it to you in simpler terms. If you can, tell me about uh, what is the difference between cohesion and coherence? Yes, guys. Cohesion and coherence. Wake up, guys. The class is not being conducted so early that you are unable to, your brains haven't started to work now. It's almost, 9:30. Get up, people. Cohesion, coherence. These are the basic ideas in linguistics, and you are already done with your first semester. Yes, anyone other than Saida? Yes, Fatma, what is the difference between cohesion and coherence?
Sorry, I'm next is sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, I genuinely don't know, but from what I am getting from the words you're saying, it basically means clarified, unified meaning, and conversion can mean directly transitioning into it.
Ma'am,
Not not exactly. Yes, Minal. How are you feeling?
ma'am, I'm all right now. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. Yes, yes, Minal.
Ma'am, cohesion
Ma'am,
is
cohesion. Hello.
ma'am.
Just hold on one at a time. Yes, Minal.
यार
Ma'am,
मेरे
cohesion is, I think, the linking between ideas and the text. When ideas are linked, it's actually cohesion, and coherence
मैम
is the
कोहेजन ग्रामर को ग्रामर वाइज है आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ वर्ड्स
Exact.
सेंटेंसेस होते हैं कोहेरेंस जो है
Farah,
वो आपकी हार्मनी ऑफ आइडियाज होता है
just hold on. Yes, Minal.
ma'am,
Let
cohesion
Minal
is the
speak.
linking of ideas between a text, and coherence is the overall grammatical linkage in the text.
It's the you are saying the opposite. Okay. Yes, Farah.
Yes.
मैम कोहेजन इज एक्चुअली जो है हमारा ग्रामेटिकल जितना भी रूल्स रेगुलेशंस है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ वर्ड्स सेंटेंसेस में जिस तरह से रूल्स अप्लाई होते हैं और कोहेरेंस जो है तो हार्मनी ऑफ आइडियाज किस तरह से हम आइडियाज को एक दूसरे के अंदर स्ट्रीमलाइन करते हैं
Exactly. Now these are the basic concepts. Cohesion is linking of grammar. Okay. Um, Cohesion is about the correctness of the language, how different things of grammar you combine to make sentences or passages or paragraphs. That is called as cohesion, right? Coherence is connecting of ideas. Okay, like when you are taught how to write paragraphs, you are taught that you should give one idea in one paragraph, and when you are developing another idea you should make another paragraph. Okay, so that is coherence. Now these two paragraphs, when you're writing several paragraphs, so one paragraph should be connected to another paragraph, and within a paragraph there should be connectivity within the ideas. That is coherence. Okay, when you are, I don't know how many of you have teaching experience, but when you're checking students paper, some papers are really coherent, ideas by ideas, right? When you are being taught how to write essays, you are always asked to do some brainstorming or do some mind mapping, so that when you write your essays they are coherent. Ideas are connected. It should not be flying of ideas. You should not be taking flight from one idea to another idea, but the ideas should be connected. This is called as coherence. Okay, and cohesion is the linking. We use the word structure and texture. Two words are used for text, right? So when you are grammatically correct, you know you have placed all the elements of grammar correctly. That is called as cohesion. Now from that idea of coherence and cohesion, try to understand these two concepts that are given. The concepts are just the same. Different terminologies are being used for similar concepts. Okay. So coming back to Halliday here, he talks about two perspective on text, or there are, you can look at text in two ways. So what would be in artifact and specimen? What might be cohesion and what might be coherence? What's your guess?
Ma'am, artifact is the cohesion, the grammatical link between the sentences, and the
Exactly. Exactly.
specimen.
Now, yeah, look at this slide. Text is artifact that focuses on the text itself, whatever is inside the text. Okay, why does this text mean what it does, how it is structured, how it is constituted. Okay, so you look at text in two ways. What is its grammar, what is the cohesion, what is the focus. The focus is within the text, right? So cohesion lies outside the text, and cohesion lies inside the text. Coherence lies outside the text. When you're trying to understand the idea, what does the writer want to say, right? So these are the two perspectives. Artifacts where the focus is on the text itself, Okay. And specimen, it reveals the insights about the linguistic system. What does this text tells us about language, right? What does the text reveals about the language? Okay. So these are just the two perspective for looking at the text, and the concepts are almost similar, right? There are two more concepts, syntagmatic and paradigmatic. Do you have any idea about those concepts, syntagmatic and paradigmatic?
Yes, ma'am, the two dichotomies that was given by Noam Chomsky. Uh,
Yeah.
First one, syntagmatic relations are basically the linear relations between the words of a text.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the paradigmatic relations are basically the vertical relations between sentences, I guess, ma'am.
Okay, which one is the choice relation between syntagmatic and paradigmatic? Choice relations.
Ma'am, I think that was the syntagmatic relations, the choice
No.
between words.
I don't know how to use a board here, but I'm leaving this till we meet. I mean, I'm not leaving the class. I'm leaving this concept till we meet face to face, and I'll tell you something about syntagmatic and paradigmatic. By the way, paradigmatic is a choice relation. Okay, where you can have a choice, and you have mentioned that linear is syntagmatic. Okay, and vertical is paradigmatic. For instance, if I give you two sentences, uh, Fatma is the CR of linguistics group, right? Farah, please, could you just switch off your microphone because you're somewhere else also. So when I say that, Fatma is the CR of the linguistic group, and then I say that Minal is the CR of linguistic group, right? Now, syntagmatically, linearly, both are similar structures. Now, what I have made a choice, I have made a choice at the proper noun that I have used. Now, I have a choice at a certain position. Okay. So instead of one proper noun, I have used another proper noun. And then instead of, if you change the verb, Fatma was, is, uh, had been, all of these are verbs, right? So in choice relationship you can change these also. You have a choice, right? Linearly, you have to have just one sentence, and paradigmatically, vertically, you can change it because you have a choice. So this is called as a choice relationship. Anyway, we can have a more discussion on it while we will be meeting face to face. So anyway, we were here on the two perspectives. Okay, I've tried to simplify it through the concept of cohesion and coherence. I hope this is clear. This is Halliday's words of artifacts and specimen. Now, the text is ephemeral. We have decided that text is anything which is spoken, written, uh, you know, short or long, but it has to have a meaning. Now, text can be ephemeral. What do you mean by ephemeral? I think this vocabulary from Halliday's book, or for that matter from Butt's book, is easy. We don't have much problem with that. Yes. Oh, I have forgotten to change the slide. Oh, okay, we are here. Okay. Text can be lasting or ephemeral. It can be momentous and it can be trivial. These can be the characteristics of a text, which makes it very, very broad. What is ephemeral? Guys.
Ma'am, I think If, lasting or temporary, maybe.
Of course, lasting is in front of you, or would give you an opposite. Common sense.
Ma'am, but ma'am, if it could be like lasting for a short time, like it
Yeah.
doesn't last
Yeah,
like specifically just for a short time,
lasting is a long time, and that something that lasts for a short time is
for a short
ephemeral,
time,
and momentous is important or grand, and trivial is small. Okay, but everything
temporary.
is a text. Okay, um, trivial is not temporary. Ephemeral is temporary. Trivial is small.
It's
Right?
trivial. Trivial something
Yeah,
which is not important as
yeah. So
momentous.
that's the opposite of, yeah. That is not momentous. That is trivial. Right? So now we have done with the characteristics of text, which are given by Halliday, and we have noticed that text is very, very broad. Every instance of language is text conditionally, and those are the conditions of its being meaningful. It has to have a function, it has to have a context, and then moreover, it can be important, it can be trivial, it can be ephemeral, it can be lasting, all of that. Now, you have four texts. I don't know yet the page number, but I think this is page number 14 of PDF in your books. We will be analyzing it later on, but there are three texts that are given in Halliday's book, and these are on page number 14 and 15 of PDF. Okay, we'll be doing it in a short while, um, when I'll give you time to analyze those. Okay, now here we are going to kind of differentiate between the traditional grammar and the functional grammar, um, and we will see what are the characteristics of functional grammar or functional linguistics also. Now, traditional grammar is for the correctness of the language. Okay, it focuses on accuracy. How accurate is the language used? That is why when students are taught grammar, they are taught in a traditional way, and they are taught basically the traditional grammar and not the functional grammar, on the correctness of the language, not on the meaning of the sentences. Okay, and functional grammar is about choice. You know, uh, a sentence can be correct when you are using different words. You can be using synonyms also. You can be using easier vocabulary or difficult vocabulary. That might be correct. But there is a purpose of choosing the words that you choose. You intentionally choose those words. Okay. In functional grammar is all about choices. For instance, you know, there is a formal use of language and there is an informal use of language. Then the use of language also depends on with whom you are interacting, whether you are interacting with your family, your friends, your teachers, your colleagues, your co-workers. So your language keeps on changing. Okay, in terms of vocabulary also, and in terms of your intonation pattern as well. And we are going to do a little exercise related to this. Now, buy and purchase, very, very simple examples. Okay. What's the difference between buy and purchase? Are these exactly the same words? Are these the exact synonyms?
Yes, ma'am, these are same.
I guess one is
So,
formal, one is more informal. The word buy is more
yes,
informal.
huh. Um, you know, um, buy is a very common word. We keep on, using it I bought this or I'm going to buy this. But purchase, we use it very rarely, and therefore sometimes it is counted as a formal word or a formal way of saying something that you have bought. I purchased it. Okay. So functional grammar or functional English tells you about the choices that you have made, and those are very, very intentional. Okay. So you see the context. Now, context is again a very broad term. What is included in the context? What are the things that are included in the context? Yes, Sonera, I haven't heard your voice.
Yes. Ma'am, because of signals are weak, so my voice is I think not coming. I am giving answers, but my voice is not coming clearly.
Oh, really? Okay. So what is the
Yes,
context?
ma'am.
What is included in okay, what is included in a context?
Meaning, ma'am, meaning is also included in the context.
No.
Ma'am?
What are the things that are included in the context? Yes, Fatma.
Ma'am, situations, socially, culturally, religiously, these are the how we make a
Okay.
context.
Or what else? What other than situations?
Ma'am, there are two types of context. One is the linguistic context, and the second one is the physical context. Linguistic जो हमारा sentence होता है उसकी जो side by side meanings होते हैं, that is actually linguistic context. Or a physical context, the background
Okay.
knowledge.
You might be right to a little extent, but says the writer, but okay. He talks about two contexts, and we'll be talking about those contexts also. One is the culture context, the other is the situational context. But right now, what I'm trying to ask you is what are the things uh, that are included in a context? Fatma told us, the context is the situations. Okay, what else is included? Are people included in context that you are communicating with?
Yes, ma'am.
That how people use language according to the situations, which
Okay,
words
now
they choose.
situations, people.
Ma'am,
Are
ma'am, for
places
example,
a part of the context? Okay, just hold on. Are places part of the context where you are conversing with people?
yes, ma'am.
Exactly. Now, is time a part of the context? At what time
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
communicating? So,
Yes, ma'am.
therefore, context is just not situation. Context is a very broad term and it determines so much of the functionality of language or of our communication. Okay, so everything that affects your communication at a particular time with certain people at a certain place all form the context. Context is again a very wide term and it determines your choices. Okay, so functional linguistics or functional grammar, it focuses on the role of language in context, and context seemingly is just a word, but it has a broad concept. What is the context? Everything that adds or that supports your communication and for which you make choices is your context. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's move to more differences, but we are already done with it. One is structure, the other is meaning. Okay, one is cohesion, the other is coherence. You can say that in other words. Um, we have done this. This is all about the correctness, accuracy, and this is the purpose, functionality. Okay. Now, uh, if the grammar or the structure is incorrect, can it still be a text? If the grammar is not correct, but it is giving you the meaning, the interlocutor understands you, then what do you have to say about that? Is it a text?
Miss, yes, miss, it can be considered as text if we look from functional grammar perspectives, because we talk
Ex-
about the meaning, we talk about how language
yes,
varies meaning.
because if a sentence, though it's grammatically incorrect to a certain extent, not to an extent that it becomes meaningless. As far as it is serving the purpose, as far as it is performing the function, that remains a text because the focus is on the purpose of the language. Okay, now I'm giving you 3 minutes to look at this question. Can grammar ever be separated from society? By that, we mean that can there be an existence of language being used in a society without grammar? Can language be without grammar? Can grammar ever be separated from a society? What is your take on this? I'm giving you 2 minutes. You can think about it.
Ma'am, it cannot be,
Okay,
because without grammar, we cannot convey our message properly. The people will be uh, uh, unaware and don't understand our words that what we are trying to say.
exactly. Uh, Now, I have asked you this question because in no way functional linguistics means to, underestimate the importance of grammar. Language is based on grammar. Okay, that is why we can learn language. I mean, we can acquire language without learning its grammar, but the grammar still stays within a language. Okay, I hope you know the difference between acquisition and learning. When we learn the language, we learn it through its grammar, but when we acquire the language, we acquire it directly from our environment. But of course, grammar remains there. Even if we are not, aware of the grammar that we are using while we are speaking the language, grammar is still there. So grammar cannot be separated from the society because it's an integral part of the language. Um, and functional linguistics does not in any way um, underestimate the importance or underemphasize the importance of grammar within a language. Okay. So, having said that, what do we mean by that is in systemic functional grammar or systemic functional linguistics, we are going to do the grammatical analysis side by side functional analysis of the language. Okay. We will keep on talking about parts of speech. We are going to make models, analytical models that include part of speech, and the knowledge of grammar is very important for systemic functional linguistics. It's just not about looking at the context of conversations, but uh, you need to be really, really good at grammar also. If you're not good at grammar, please start learning grammar because grammar is a integral part of the analysis that we are moving towards, and that happens to be the goal of this course. Okay, so we are not leaving grammar. We are not, underemphasizing anything related to grammar. We'll be talking about clauses, clause complex, sentences, phrases, adjuncts, predicates, subject, all of that. We need to know that, and we'll have a separate class on grammar also because it has to be side by side. Today, in the introductory class, we are talking more about the functions because that happens to be the introduction. Okay, so we need to move uh, towards the function, but without leaving the grammar. I hope you're getting my meaning. It's a method of analysis, but in no way we are leaving the grammar behind. Okay, so uh, language is meaning, all right? Without meaning, we have no language. So this is kind of a revolutionary idea by Halliday that language is meaning and language is just not structure. Uh, and so important concepts: grammar as meaning potential instead of rules. Halliday believes that grammar. How do we define grammar? Grammar are the rules of language, as simple as that. Okay. If you have a simpler definition of grammar, we can share it also. But uh, grammar basically are the rules of language. Uh, rules of language are called as grammar. Now, what functional linguistics see from the perspective of systemic functional linguistics, we see grammar as meaning. It has a meaning potential, just not rules. Language offers numerous choices, and these choices shape meaning, right? When we talk about choices, we have grammatical choices also, and we have lexical choices also, and we have syntactical choices also. So we have choices at different levels of language. Okay. I hope you know about the levels of language. How many levels of language are there? Do you know about the 7 levels of language? Guys, I
Yes,
should
ma'am.
not be
Phonology,
disappointed.
phonology, morphology,
Ma'am,
phonology,
Ah, this is nice. Uh,
morphology, semantics,
yes.
syntax.
Okay. What is the highest level of language? Goes beyond language, outside the text. What is that?
Ma'am, that's pragmatics, I think.
Exactly.
Pragmatic.
Starting from morphology to pragmatics, there are several levels of the language. We are going to talk about those also. Okay. So all of those gives us a lot of choices, and these choices shape meaning. Now, when we talk about choices, it's not just the lexical choice. I hope I can use the linguistic terms of uh, terms like lexical and pragmatics and semantics. I hope you all know the meaning. So um, I'm using
Yes,
these
ma'am.
terms freely.
Lexical
Okay.
means words.
Yes, exactly.
Lexical means
So
words.
when I give you an example of buying and purchasing, that's a lexical example of choices. But you have choices at all levels of language. Okay. Um, you have choices in changing of or choosing the subject, the predicates, the adjuncts, right? So you have choices at all levels. That was what I'm trying to tell you. But I gave you an example from the lexical choice, which is easier to understand. Okay. So uh, these are different expressions, right? These different examples reflect the choices that you can have, right? For instance, the police arrested the thief. The thief was arrested by the police. The thief got arrested. The police finally caught him. Okay. Now, just take 2 minutes and reflect on the choices and the intentions behind these. Okay. Uh, we make different choices. We make different expressions because we speak a language with certain intentions, right? Sometimes we are revealing, we intend to reveal, or we intend to give more information. Sometimes we intentionally hide information for certain purposes, for certain motives. Okay. So just look at these examples and try to figure out uh, why are certain choices being made? What is being emphasized here? Who is
मैम ये
being
जो
given more importance? Yes, Fatma.
मैम ये जो फर्स्ट है, the police arrested the thief, is active
ma'am,
sentence. Okay, Fatma is last. Right.
Okay, first Fatma and
Ma'am,
then Farah. Yes, Fatma.
ma'am, the first attempt, the police arrested the thief focuses on the police. Because from the second sentence, we
Yes,
get the reference that their focus is on the thief got arrested. How we speak also
yes.
emphasizes the meaning we're trying to convey.
Mm-hmm. And what about the third one? Thief got arrested. Who's
The thief
absent
was
here?
arrested. Ma'am, the thief was arrested by the police. If I say this is how my focus would be on the arrested. The thief was arrested by the police, and then when I go for the fourth sentence, the police finally caught him. So maybe the way I said it, I emphasize on certain words. Like in this third sentence, my focus or emphasis will be on arrested because the thief was arrested by the police, not caught or any other word. I'm using the word arrested, so maybe it has
But
some kind of
there is
meaning.
there is no mention in the third one. There is no mention of police.
Yes, the thief. There is no mention of thief, mentioning of thief, but we know that the word finally caught would reflect to a criminal, not a normal person. The police finally caught him. So the implied meaning comes from finally caught.
And we don't know if he's a thief or he's a murderer or he's a robber,
Yeah, because we just
right?
know he's someone. Yes.
Okay, yes, Farah, what do you have to say about
मैम
this?
द पुलिस अरेस्टेड द थिंग सिंपल डिक्लेरेटिव सेंटेंस है एक्टिव है जिसमें पुलिस इज फोकस्ड है कि व्हाट दे हैव डन एंड थीफ वाज अरेस्टेड ये पैसिवाइजेशन है पैसिव पैसिव सेंटेंसेस में जो फोकस पोजीशन पर आता है ऑब्जेक्ट जो है फोकस पोजीशन पर हम उस टाइम लाते हैं क्योंकि दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन आवर सब्जेक्ट द थीफ
Hmm.
गॉट अरेस्टेड गॉट जो है एक्यूजेटिव वर्ड है और इसमें वी डू नॉट मेंशन हु हैज डन द एक्शन सो that work actually has been done. Who has done that is not that doesn't matter, or you want to hide it, that can be the purpose.
Mm-hmm. Or
And the police finally caught him, as actually means the resolution means they police actually again is the focused here in the sentence. Caught him means they have done the
okay,
action पर यहाँ पर focused हो रहा है thief पर focus नहीं हो रहा.
that's nice. Anyone else?
Ma'am, in the first sentence, the police arrested the thief. This is the active voice.
Okay,
Here,
just
our
hold.
emphasis is on the police.
Okay, hold on. I would like you to just reflect on the last one. The police finally caught him. Any new word chosen to be used here, and what might be the context? What is your understanding?
Finally is the
I
word
guess
which
Ma'am,
the
is
here
word
used.
Just
our
hold on,
Finally
hold.
is
focus
added.
will be.
Farah, Farah, hold
Okay,
on. Someone
okay.
else is speaking. Yes, who is speaking now? Just tell me your name.
Zunaira.
Yes,
Zunaira.
Zunera.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
In the
Zunera.
last sentence, the police finally caught him. Here, our all focus will be on the finally because it is a new word and our emphasis will be here.
What does it say? What is being emphasized? What is the concept? What is the context being built here?
Ma'am, I guess the time is also referring here. Like in the
Yes.
first three sentences, it didn't matter when, but in the
Yeah.
last sentence, it was finally like they have been chasing him, and finally he
Exactly.
was.
It has been a long time that public was waiting for this criminal to be caught, and finally means, after a long time, long wait, the criminal has been arrested. Okay. And then it is also different from the rest of this because we do not know whether it was a thief or a murder. We just know that, he's caught. Because the person is caught by the police, so perhaps he's a criminal. Otherwise, if someone else catches someone, we don't know who he is. We cannot say that he's a criminal. Okay. So the police is catching someone means perhaps he's a criminal, but he's not a thief. He might be a thief, he might not be a thief, right? So there is an ambiguity here as far as who is being caught, and then the thief got arrested. The whole information is not revealed who arrested the thief. But as a matter of, we are living in a society where this is a matter of our contextual understanding that usually police catches the thief. So if even the police is absent, this is okay. But when we talk about the news channel, how they cover the news sometimes, for instance, if we say that the boy was murdered, right? We do not know who murdered him. So either the media does not know the name of the murderer, or they are hiding it for some motives. So this is how active voice and passive voice are used. This is how the context of times come in. What Halliday wants to tell you through examples like these is that your expressions reveal a lot of your intentions also, and the expressions are a matter of choice. The use of language is a matter of choice, and this can change the context also. For instance, the police finally caught him has gives you a different idea, different context than the police arrested the thief, which is a very simple thing to understand. Okay, I hope this is clear. We can move on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, grammar is a choice. By the word grammar, we mean all of that. Because if you see the previous examples, Farah has already elaborated you in terms of grammar. This is grammar. Active passive is a part of grammar. The police is a subject. Arrested is the predicate. The thief happens to be the object here. This is the positioning in terms of grammar. Okay, and functionality we understand through the context, but what is important here is that grammar, because uh, I told you that we cannot underemphasize the importance of grammar. Grammar is a choice. I'm not, language is not a choice. Okay, you use one language. Like I'm speaking English, I do not have another choice. Let's suppose that I'm in a formal situation. I don't have a choice in changing the language, but I have a choice in using uh, the sentences that I'm using now. Okay, so grammar is a choice, and this is the important or pivotal concept in systemic function linguistics. Now, Halliday does not see grammar just as the rules of the language, but he sees it as a set of meaningful patterns. What you see as the arrangements of different grammatical items, Halliday sees it as a set of meaningful patterns. He calls these patterns instead of rules. Okay, so for him, grammar is an integral part of language, but grammar is important when it is meaningful. And grammar for Halliday are the patterns, meaningful patterns. Okay. Now, how context influence the understanding of language and how it changes. We are going to look at these. These are some Pakistani examples. You know, this is about how do we use it while we are talking to a colleague, to a family members in the class or the wedding. And we'll have an exercise here also. Now, when we say, when you talk about language, we cannot say that, someone's expressions are the best. It's only what is important is not uh, using the best of the vocabulary or showing off your language grip. But what is important in a language is to use it appropriately. If you are unable to use language appropriately, by using appropriate language, we mean taking care of the context. And again, when we say that you need to take care of the context, we mean that you need to consider who you are talking to, what is the time, place, location, your relation with that person. So that determines the appropriateness of the language, and that is important. Okay, I give you a very simple example. you're my infant class, so um, I'm not reluctant in using whatever level of vocabulary I may use here. I'm confident that, I'm through. You understand me. But if I'm teaching first semester and I am using difficult vocabulary, okay, because I think that's the best language, but my students do not understand me. So there is no use. The language is not performing its function, right? My message is not getting across. So there is no use. So I'm not using appropriate language in terms of the level of class that I'm teaching. Okay, so the language needs to be appropriate rather than being correct, rather than being difficult. Uh, it should be very very appropriate and should serve the purpose basically. Okay, now this is an activity. Uh, Changing the context. You are going to rephrase it for me. I cannot attend the event, you know. And in context, we are only taking the interlocutors. How do you say it to a friend? How do you change it for the dean? How do you say it to your mother? I cannot attend the event. You can have a choice of the event. For instance, you're telling your mother that you are not attending the wedding, someone's wedding, or to your dean that you are not attending maybe the seminar, maybe the conference, and to a friend you are saying you are not attending, going out, you're not going out with her, or you're not attending anything that you know you plan together. Okay, so you can replace event here according to the context, and we are not changing a lot of things in the context, but here we are just changing the interlocutor. So just take 2 minutes and think of how do you rephrase this simple sentence. I cannot attend the event for your friend, dean, and mother. We just want to see that, similar kind of language can vary when the context is changed.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
here in for if we use it for Dean, so we can use it like I may not attend the session in a formal way. And if we use it with friends, so we can use the words like bro, sis, or yeah, I cannot attend, or I cannot attend the event or the session. If we talk with mother, so we use it as simple that mom, I cannot attend the event.
Okay.
Absolutely.
May actually auxiliary verb, so it shows the possibility. Means you are not attending means you are not going to attend means it's confirmed. So may it shows the possibility. So we cannot use may over here for Dean. Instead of may we can use I will not be able to. That's more I think
Okay. Mm-hmm.
more clearer. Sorry, more clear. Clear, clearer than that. And for friend, that definitely there are no means informal tone we can use with a friend. We are much very much relaxed while talking to a friend. We are chill, so I cannot come simply. Can it's informal as well. We can use with friends, so I cannot come tomorrow. And for mother, definitely we have to show respect. Means for Dean, there is actually we are on professional ground, so we have to be very much careful. But with the mother, actually we have some other affiliations as well. To
Mm-hmm.
just to show a respect, we can say that. Here we can use the word may because you're at home, so possibility can be take out can be. So I cannot attend.
Okay.
Here,
Can I go?
Yes,
yeah,
Fatima.
Can I
for
start?
mother we can
Uh,
say that I may. Okay, okay. Fatma.
no, ma'am, Puspara, you can continue. I'll start after.
I
For a
think
friend,
Farah is done.
for a friend, I can say, man, I'm not going. I'm not attending the event. That's how would I say it to a friend context. For a dean, I would have to be formal. So I would, at least in my perspective, I would say thank you for inviting me, but I'm unable to attend because of a prior commitment, because I cannot just say I am not attending. I cannot attend. And for a mother, I can say, Mama, I'm not going. I'm not attending this wedding. I don't want to go. These are the few words I can say. But for a dean or anyone, I have to sound formal and I have to rephrase it to sound respectful as well.
Okay. Now, one more thing is, when you are living in a certain society, uh, you don't need to learn the variations. But what Halliday is trying to tell you that, uh, a simple sentence changes its meaning when you are communicating. When the context changes, the meaning changes. Okay. So all of us agree that when you are telling the dean, you cannot just straight away use the word cannot. Okay. You have to sometimes give a reason, or you have to be apologetic at times that you are unable to do that, right? And with a friend, and it's just not in speech. Okay. When he defines the text, he says it can be spoken and written, or any form of language, through any medium. So it's just not the written, but the spoken also. Uh, in When you are writing to you are writing email to your friend, or you're writing email to your teachers, you are writing email to your boss. Um, you must have noticed that there is a change. Okay. And if there is no change, then it is felt on the other side. And sometimes people get offended also, because you have not taken care of the context for that reason. Okay. Now moving towards more about context, this is very important. This is Halliday's definition of a text. Without intent, there is no text. Now, when you have there is no text without intent, means the text has to have a purpose. Now when we are teaching, again getting back to the same example, when we are teaching grammar with chunks of language, we have an intention of teaching but not communicating. Okay. So here intent means communicating. So without the intentions of communicating, there is no text. When you are not sending any message. While we are dealing with chunks of language in our language teaching or grammar classrooms, we have no intentions of communication, right? So the text does not achieve a purpose. I mean, it's not a text if it does not achieve a purpose. There is a purpose of teaching, but there is no purpose of achieving any functionality of the language. So that's the difference. So the text should have a purpose, and when a text does not have a purpose, it is not a text. Okay, according to Halliday. There can be different opinions of different linguists. We might be looking at those also, but right now, since we are dealing with Halliday, so according to him, text cannot exist without a context, without an intent. Now, the kinds of context that we were talking about, there are two kinds of context. One is the context of culture, and the other is the context of situation. Okay, but has also talked about it. If you have read from both the books, this is the similarity between the two. Okay, now context of culture. There are certain words that are part of the Pakistani culture, but not of the Western culture for that matter. Okay. Um, as your, I'm not ending the class, but I'm giving you the homework because I'll forget after that. You'll find out words which vary in different contexts. Okay. Some of the words I have given you, for instance, this is a Muslim culture context. Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Astaghfirullah, all of that. Okay. So, there might be other culture contexts. For instance, if I give you an example of the culture, the British culture, they ask about the weather from the strangers also. But here in the Pakistani culture, when you are sitting with a stranger, you do not break the ice by asking about the weather. Uh, in Pakistani culture, we don't appreciate talking to strangers. Okay, and if a stranger talk to us, we don't appreciate that. We don't encourage strangers to talk to us. This is our culture. But in the British culture, asking about the weather, breaking the ice is quite normal. Okay, so there's the context is very important in terms of culture, also in which culture you are communicating. We are not the native speakers and we share a similar culture. So, um, uh, there are miscommunication when we are uh, in cross culture communication. Okay. And there are several very interesting examples about it. For instance, just not the language, okay? Just not the verbal language, but the body language also. For instance, thumbs up is a good luck in the Western culture, but here thumbs up is a zero, okay, in our culture. So there are culture differences. You're going to find out those culture differences in the next class. I'll ask you about those. Okay, context, situation, context of situation. Two kinds of context. Context of culture we have already discussed. The other is context of situation, which is which can be the change of places. Okay, in the hospital and in the restaurant, um, at schools, at educational institutions, at the markets. All of that tells you about the different situations. Okay, so the different language dynamics that you apply. Do you have an idea of registers? Okay, who is telling me about the registers? What is a register?
A group of similar words that we keep related to something. For example, related to hospital, we keep the word doctor, nurse. All of them are, I guess, the register related to
Uh,
hospital,
this is called
if I'm
as
not wrong.
what Saida, what you are telling me in linguistics, we call it semantic field. But what is a
Mhm.
register? Yes, I think Minal would know this. Yes, Minal.
Ma'am, registered really, ma'am, it's the specific jargons, the specific vocabulary that is used in a context,
Exactly.
in a
These,
specific situation.
not in a context, but in a specific field, we can say. Okay. Now, register consists of jargons, and jargons are the technical terms that are shared by people of that particular community. Okay. For instance, these terms like morphology and phonetics and semantic field and context and holiday and functional and grammar, these are the jargons of the register of linguistics. Okay. Similarly, doctors or the field of medicine, they have their own jargons. Lawyers have their own jargons of legal discourses. Okay. We do not understand those. um, Scholars or students of chemistry, physics, they have their own jargons. So, a register consists of jargons, and those are shared by people of that particular community. Okay. Now, um, having talked about registers, registers have three things in them. These are very important terms. You need to be very clear about this: field, tenor, and mode. These terms would be repeated throughout the course of systemic functional linguistics. And these are the terms that are also used during the analysis. Okay. Now, field refers to what is happening, um, medical consultation or political discussions. Now, what is the field? What is happening now? An online lecture is going on. This is the field. Okay, what is happening? Field answers what is happening. So whether a medical consultation is happening or an online class is going on or political discussion is underway, all of that refers to the field. Uh, Tenor refers to, these are part of the context also, and these are part of the registers also. Uh, this refers to who is communicating, right? The tenor right now is the teacher and the students in an online class, right? It can be patient and the doctor, it can be judge and the lawyer, it can be the police and the criminal, or whatever relation is there between the people in a field. A mode, of course, it refers to the form of communication. It can be speech, writing, email, WhatsApp, your social medias, whatever mode you take for your communication, that is called as the mode of communication. Okay. Now, the next activity is a little, you need to think about it and you need to write and um, how do you talk about a topic when your field is different and when your tenor is different and when your mode is different. So we have already done the tenor part when the interlocutors are different. We did a little activity on that. Now right now we are doing some activity on the mode, how the mode changes and the words or the language that you use change. Okay, for this activity I'm giving you like 5 minutes. You can write it down. You can think it in your mind. But after 5 minutes, we would be sharing it. What you're going to do is, the topic is rain. You can use any of these. How do you present a weather report? I would like you to write 3 sentences about the rain in some areas. A poem you cannot develop. Do not use Chat GPT right now for writing a poem. Or you can type in, think of an interesting WhatsApp message. How do you communicate that it's raining? Okay. How do you transfer this information in different modes? Okay. What we did previously, we changed people, dean, friend, mother. How do you inform them that you are not able to attend the event? Here we are changing the mode. Okay. So on the topic of rain, how do you report it as a weather reporter? How do you write a message to a friend or to anyone, a WhatsApp message to inform about the rain? Or do you remember any song related to rain? So uh, either write it. I don't know, how do you go for your online classes? Do you have a pen and a register, something to write on, or maybe you can take notes on your mobiles also? But whatever you want to do, you can write it, you can think about it in your mind, but you have to share it later on. After that, we will come to a very important topic of functions of language.
We'll just do this activity and then get back to you.
Yeah. Whoever does it, please raise your hand. I can see your hands here, okay? Okay, Fatma has done it. Okay.
Ma'am, first the weather report. 35% of rain shower are forecasted in Karachi this afternoon, starting around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. That is how
Okay.
I would write a report. And for a message, I would write, the weather is so pretty. I'm writing a message to my friend on WhatsApp. The weather is so pretty. If we were together, we would definitely had a cup. We would definitely have a cup of chai together.
Where is the rain in this
That's how
message, Fatima?
the
The
weather.
weather is nice.
The
I
rain is
mean, the
so
weather is nice does not necessarily mean that, it's raining. For
the
me,
rain.
the weather
Okay,
is
I'll
nice
change
when
it.
it's sunny. Okay.
I'll change
Okay.
it.
Any poetry or any
The rain.
song?
Uh,
Yes, ma'am. I have
a
just
song.
found a poetry on rain.
Just, Farah, just, just hold on. Let Fatma complete and then I'll get back to you. Yes, Fatma. Are you telling us a
Not a
poem?
song that reminds. Ma'am, I no, I can't write a poem that quickly. I'm not that good at
Do
writing
you
poems.
know, do you know any Indian song about rain?
Oh yes, ma'am, so many songs. But I didn't realize you have to. I hope I don't have to sing. And there's a
No,
song called
well, I'm
Barish,
interested.
literally means rain.
You
Which
can recite. You can recite. You cannot sing, but you can recite some of the verses from the song. Okay, let's go to Farah. Yes, Farah. And after Farah, we'll go to Zunaira. Yes, Farah.
Yes, ma'am. I'll share a poem.
Okay.
Uh, Soft drops fall from cloudy skies, washing earth before our eyes. Leaves dance gently, fresh and bright, sparkling in the morning light. Raindrops sing on roofs and trees, carried by the cooling breeze. Nature smiles, renewed again. Life awakens with the rain.
Oh, that's very nice. Did you write
And
this?
no, ma'am, it's my favorite one. Okay. I
Okay.
have just written two lines on weather forecast in on weather report. Weather will remain cloudy with light and moderate rain, and it is expected throughout the day.
Okay, that's nice.
And for the WhatsApp message, that's for a friend. Okay, it could be for anyone, for a friend, just
Yeah,
on
no,
WhatsApp
no, it
message.
can be for anyone.
Okay, then I will write to my husband that weather is very lovely and it's very pleasant today. So let's go on a long drive to have some outing and to have something important to share in rain.
Oh, that's very romantic. Okay, who else? I hope everyone is done. We have to quickly move to
Yes,
another activity. Yes, who else?
ma'am, Zunaira, may I?
Yes, yes, Sunera.
Ma'am, for weather report, we can use that like a weather reporter. We can use that today will be cloudy weather and it might be rain today. So please stay home. We can use
Mm-hmm.
it for weather report and for poem. I don't know the actual poem, but we can mostly use few lines that about rain that rain in rain the flowers blooms and the rivers flow like this. I just remember that this sentence and for WhatsApp message. we can use, for example, I'm saying to my friend that it's raining outside, so don't take the umbrella with you.
Okay, this is nice. Anyone else? Um, okay, please do that. Think about it. It was an easy activity. Now, what I would like you to do is take out your books, the book of Halliday. Uh, there is text 1.1 on page number 14 of, I think, 14 of the PDF. Book page number, let me check. Please take out your books to page number 14, yeah, 3 of the book and 14 of the PDF. Let me check if I can, you know, open it here in the slide share. What I would like you to do is just read these three texts, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. These are very, very short texts, 3 to 4 lines. And here you will see the different modes of writing. What you are supposed to do in this activity, just try to identify which mode of text is it. Okay, which genre, let's put it this way, which genre is it? I hope you know the meaning of genre. Just
Ma'am, please
figure out.
mention the numbers.
uh, Page 3 of the book and 14 of the PDF, you can see three text, very, very short text, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Um, just see which genre or which mode is it. Okay. I'm trying to open the book and I'm trying to share it on the screen. I hope you have found the book. Let me open it here so that we are quicker. We do not waste time. Here. I hope this text is visible to you. Okay. Who's
Yes, ma'am,
reading
it's visible.
reading okay, who's reading the text here? 1.1. Yes. Who's reading text for us? Guys.
Should I read?
Yeah, please, quickly.
Today, all of us do, by our presence here and by our celebrations in other parts of our country and the world, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society which all humanity will be proud. Our daily deeds as ordinary South Africans must produce an actual South African reality that will reinforce humanity's belief in justice. I can't see the other text.
Yeah. Justice.
Ma'am,
Strengthen the confidence in the nobility of the human soul and sustain all our hopes for a glorious life for all. All this we owe both to
all of
ourselves and to the people of the world who are so well represented here today. What mode is this?
spoken.
It's spoken and
Yes, ma'am, it is spoken
Ma'am, the
because, ma'am, here
uh,
complex sentences are being used that
um,
are not means linear. Spoken mode is
ma'am,
there.
and the genre
और
could be
spoken है लेकिन क्या है? Is it a it, हाँ हाँ yes Fatma.
Ma'am, the genre could be a political or persuasive speech because it's addressing to the country. We know from the speech it's spoken. Also, the fact the genre could be from a political speech or a persuasive speech. From the text, we can analyze that, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
This is the speech by Nelson Mandela in South Africa, and this is a very famous one. So, when you read through the vocabulary and through its structures, you come to know about the mode or the genre of the writing. Okay, this is by no means look like a written uh, thing. Okay, written mode. It is spoken and it is speech, right? Because of the content also, and because of the way it is written. Now, who's reading quickly,
And
guys? We have to
should
do
I
a
go
lot of
again?
things.
Yes, I will
Some
read.
someone
Cold
else,
Power.
someone else. Yes, Farah.
Cold Power is the ideal brand for any family. We understand that there is more than one thing you want to achieve out of every wash load. As such, we have developed a formula capable of achieving wide range of benefits for all types of wash loads.
Okay, what is it?
Ma'am,
It's a
ma'am, it's a
Ma'am,
written
it's a
speech
written
and
text.
text. Yes.
written and very clearly it is examined
ये क्या
that
है?
no
What is
grammatical
it?
mistake.
Miss, it is an
Speech है.
advertisement
Ma'am, written
promotion.
text is
Exactly.
there.
बेटा है written, but this is an advertisement. Fatma is right. पता चल रहा है उसकी body से, the body of the text. Do you understand this? We just not have to figure out whether it's written or it's verbal. We are looking at the genre or the register here, the mode actually. Okay, this is an advertisement. It can be on the now advertisements are uh, of two kinds. What kind of advertisement is it? Where it might appear. Written to है, it's okay. That's nice that you have, ठीक है. That's the mode. And then the genre is advertisement. But where can this appear? In textbooks,
No, maybe newspapers or
in the newspaper or the
pamphlets.
billboards,
Yes,
pamphlets,
ma'am.
billboards, newspapers. Okay. So,
Where they can promote their brand
huh,
or whatever they are.
yes, because media is of several types. There is social media also. And what other medias do we have? We have print media. Okay.
Printed media,
And then,
electronic
yes,
media, and
electronic media. So this is a part of the printed media. Okay. Because we don't see any pictures here, we do not see any video here. So perhaps it's a brand. Coal Power is the name of some brand. And what product is being advertised here? The activity is to, recognize the genre that you have done. But what product is being advertised here?
washing detergent है कोई ये मेरे ख्याल से.
Yes, this is wash. Yes, yes, this is washing detergent. Okay, let's come to the third one. Who's reading this one for us?
Yes, ma'am, me.
Yes, Minal.
And we have been trying different places around the island that a couple of years ago we got on to this place called the Sauria in East Bali, and we just go back there now every time. It is, oh, I have heard about this. Have you heard about it? Oh, friends have been there. It is the most wonderful, fabulous.
Okay. Written or spoken?
मैम ये तो डायलॉग है सब पता चल रहा है
Spoken है.
कन्वर्सेशन
Yes, ma'am.
स्पोकन
Okay.
है.
Spoken.
And the
Expected
conversation is
from any
between?
Two
And ma'am,
people.
conversation between friends.
Okay. And what's the topic?
About
Miss, the
traveling,
place they
traveling.
visited, Surai,
Yeah.
Bali.
Yeah. Perhaps this person who is in conversation, he has recently visited a place And where's Bali? Just a question of general knowledge.
I was in Malaysia.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
You're close, but not that close. So anyway, this is a conversation about the vacations at a place known as Bali.
मैम शायद
And
नेपाल में है ये कोई जगह नहीं
Miss, it's in
Indonesia.
Indonesia, I think.
Indonesia. This is in
इंडोनेशिया
Indonesia.
यस
It's
ओके
yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful holiday spot. Very green. So they are in conversation about whether they have visited the place or not, or what the person who initiates this conversation has actually visited the place, and what are the marks of spoken language here? What are the marks through which you recognize? One is the dialogues, of course, that's spoken, but something else also.
The dash
Ma'am,
is the word
context.
M or the word O.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The gaps that
Ma'am,
are there in the spoken language, okay, these are not part of the written text because written text can be revised and there are no gaps, okay. But in spoken text, you have fillers also and you have gaps also that are indicated through these dash, where the uh, the person who is speaking or the speaker takes little breaks, okay. So from this activity and reading, and these are the actual examples given by Halliday, how do you recognize the genre of the text and the mode as well? Through which medium the information is being communicated to you, and what are the different structures and words? Everything supports a particular genre. Okay, so there are several characteristics that differentiate an advertisement from a political speech, and for that matter, a general or a routine conversation. So, is it clear?
यस मैम
So, we
Yes,
have done
ma'am.
an
yes, ma'am.
activity. So, we have done an activity by ourselves also. How do we write? And Halliday has given a formal one. It's actually this speech actually done by Nelson Mandela, and this is an actual advertisement that he gives as an example. So this is how we differentiate, and this is how our language changes according to the context of people we have practiced, of places we have practiced, and of genre. The difference in the genre that takes place because we use different words here. Okay. Now let's go back to our slides. Just give me a minute. Okay, so let's see where we would do this. So here we are. So we're done with this. Now, this is a very important topic. As I told you, that Halliday is basically known for giving us the functions of language. So we are going to do the meta functions. By meta functions, we mean the broad functions, and there are three broad functions that are given by Halliday. Okay, so and then there are very many sub-functions. We are going to do those also, but there are three basically: ideational function, interpersonal, and textual. So these are the three functions. We are going to talk about that. Um, okay, right. So first of all, this ideational function, it talks about experiences. Okay. And in this function, we have experiential function as a sub function. There are several other functions. We'll keep on doing this because, whole of SFL is based on the function and functionality of the language. So ideational functional represents the experience. Interpersonal represents our emotions and opinions. Okay. And the textual ones, they organize our message coherently. Um, for instance, the child broke the glass. This is just telling the experience in simple terms. And then when you say, oh, the child broke the glass, or perhaps the child broke the glass, that becomes interpersonal. And textual is organizes the message, how the message is coherently organized. Okay. So textual function looks at the coherence of the message, right? We'll go into detail of these functions in a while, but we'll be talking about levels of the language that we have already done. We know about the context of culture, right? Know about the context of situation. These are basically the levels of language. Okay, these are the kinds of context, but these are the levels of some of the levels of language. Okay, semantics, lexicographer, or expressions, but there are 7 levels. We are going to have a separate class on 7 levels. This is just from this chapter, not elaborated uh, here, right? Now, talking about the meta language, we talked about meta functions. We are talking about meta language now. These are some of the vocabulary terms. As I told you, that we will be using this book in order to learn the terms that we use in SFL, right? So there are some terms that we are going to learn. One is theme, mood, process, participants. Okay. So like these are just, we can say that these are the register. These are the jargons of SLF, right? Like we have jargons in chemistry and medicine. So SFL has its own terms. All the terms that we have learned today are the terms of SFL. Um, the most essential vocabulary that we use are the theme, mood, and process. We are going to look at those also in detail, maybe not in today's class, but later on. Just look at these terms. For today's class, you need to know that these words belong to SFL, right? Register we have done. Similar meanings in similar situation. Situation is the same if this is a medical situation or this is a linguistic class going on, so we share the similar meaning. Whereas you differentiate genre as similar structure stages in a text. So if it if you're looking at a poem as a genre, it will have stanzas. This is the similarity in structural stages. Okay. If you're looking at an advertisement, it will have a text, or may be the text accompanies a picture, and the language would be persuasive. The language would be, convincing. So that would be the genre of advertisement. So they will have similar structural stages, whereas register will have similar meaning, similar understanding of words, of jargon. So this is the difference between register and genre. You need to remember this difference. And the 3 things that we have done lately were related to register. Okay. Um, and by the 3 things that I'm talking about are those that we have just done, which was feel, tenor, and more. They are related to the register, right? So whenever we will talk about register in SLF, we will be talking about the feel, tenor, and more. Those are the 3 terms that are part of the register. Okay. And you need to also differentiate between register and genre, right? Other than that, you need to remember whatever words we have covered today. Now, let's talk about what have we understood today and what are the critical questions which are related to today's lecture.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम,
जी
मैम ये
beta.
रिकॉर्डिंग आप शेयर कर देंगे इवन
Of
शाम तक?
course, I
ओके।
want to promote my YouTube channel. Why would not I?
ओके।
Okay.
एक्चुअली मैम कुछ चीजें वो उसकी वजह से, नेट की वजह से मेरे से ड्रॉप हो गई, तो मैं फिर रिकॉर्डिंग में चेक कर लूँ।
Oh, it's okay. So, um, finally, okay, these are some of the discussion questions. I would like you to do this. Okay, we will have a 2.5 class, but some of the class will go into practice. I hope Fatma has shared with you a practice paragraph also, practicing text. Fatma, did you?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, I shared.
Okay, fine. So, um, these are the questions for discussion. You need some time to reflect on this. Is grammar a system of rules or choices? All of these questions are related to our lecture today. Okay. How does power influence grammatical choices? Right. Why is context central to understanding of language? Okay. You have to do two things. I'll leave the class, but you'll stay in the class because the class is going on. It's just that I have completed my lecture, and that is the class work task that I have given you. Okay. So, and every time we'll be dividing the lecture like that. I'll have a lecture, and then we'll have practice, and then also we'll have a paper discussion. We'll do research paper maybe every other class or in every class, if that is not possible because we don't have time. Now that we have discussion questions also, we have a practice paragraph as well. So we did not get time. I sent you a research article also related to today's lecture. So all of this is your classwork. Now the first thing that you are going to do is write at least a paragraph or two while answering these questions, and we are going to share this in the next class. Secondly, whatever you have learned about SFL, whatever terminologies you have learned about, you should be analyzing the passage that is given to you for practice. Take out those things, take out those concepts of SFL from that practice paragraph. Okay. And the third thing is that is your homework, reading the research article, which is related to today's lecture. Okay. Before I leave your class, but you're not leaving the class, I'll be leaving the class because my lecture is over and uh, it's now to you to complete this class activity. Before I leave, any questions related to today's class? Do you have a comprehensive understanding of introduction to SFL?
यस मैम,
Yes,
दैट
ma'am.
वाज वेरी प्रोडक्टिव। बहुत अच्छा
Okay,
लेक्चर था, बहुत मजा आया क्लास में। नाइस।
Yes, ma'am. It's the activities help us stay focused. If you were like
okay.
not being focused, the activities help.
I hope no one was yawning and no one felt sleepy. We had a good class.
इवन
It's
नींद भी आ
great.
रही थी, वो भी चली गई, इतनी अच्छी चीजें थी।
Anyway, so guys, if you have any questions, I'll just end this recording here and I'll try to send you. Okay, it takes a little time while this Google team produces the recording, and I hope I can put it on my channel
मैम सिर्फ
as
ये
soon as
स्लाइड्स फिर
possible.
जब तक आप शेयर कर दीजिएगा।
Of course. Okay, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
नो मैम।
I hope it is clear. So